Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to discuss the next question of our agriculture optional answer writing practice series. And today's question is discuss the reasons behind food inflation and discuss how it can be mitigated. So this question was asked in last year's agriculture optional paper of UPSC Civil Services examination, that is in 2024. So let's see how we can approach this answer. So there was a reason that this question was asked last year, and the reason is that last year we saw a food inflation, persistent food inflation that is of 8 to 9% food inflation. Okay, although it has decreased now, but some amount of food inflation is also present right now, but it has decreased. And last year it was increasing at 8 to 9%. That is why this question was asked. So by adding this data, you can either introduce, but it is not relevant now. It has been uh, it has been in the past. But currently, if you want to write the answer, you can simply define what food inflation is. That is persistent rise in food prices. Rise in food prices through which there are various difficulties which have arisen in our which various difficulties has been arising in our market leading to food inflation and all these things. So this is what how you can define food inflation, and I think you all know it. Now let's move to the regions. That is the important thing here. Regions behind food inflation. So what could be regions? First would be supply chain disruptions. Supply chain disruptions. There could be problem in supply of food, and this problem could be due to various regions, because we all know, first of all, Indian agriculture is monsoon dependency. Okay, so if there is delayed monsoon, or if there is low amount of precipitation in monsoon, or droughts or other things, obviously the supply will be at lower side, so it could be a problem. There are various logistical challenges present, which could be a problem, that is transportation issues, or there could be some high fuel prices. Suppose we're dependent on transport, so prices rise in fuel prices also lead to increase in all the things which are dependent on transport for logistics. So that could be one reason, supply chain disruptions. Secondly, rising input cost could be another problem or one reason. Rising input cost, we all know that our agriculture is dependent on various inputs such as fertilizer, irrigation, fuel prices. For irrigation, obviously, to irrigate we need fuel for our machines, labor costs. So these are all the inputs which are required in agriculture, and rise in any of these, the rise of prices of any, suppose the price of labor has increased from 200 to 300, obviously it could be seen in the cost of the food. So this could be another problem or another reason. Market speculation can be another reason. Market speculations, various times price is manipulated by traders, oftenly by middlemen's. Price manipulations, that brings price manipulations by traders, middlemen. Many times we saw that the stocks are hoarded, stocks hoarding, so that the price there the supply is decreased and the prices get high, and then these stocks are sent back to the market to be sold at high prices. So it is one problem, and it also depends on global market, global commodity prices. How is the market is changing globally, so it will also affect on countries prices. Suppose we all know that various types of oils, for example, here you can add palm oil. So India imports huge amount of palm oil from Indonesia and other Southeast Asian countries. So if the price rises there, obviously it will, the price of palm oil will rise in India too. So it could be another problem. Demand supply imbalance could be a problem. Demand supply imbalance could be a problem. Obviously our population is rising, consumption patterns are rising. Previously you see that currently, especially in urban areas, The consumption patterns are changing very much differently. We are now getting focusing on how high rich protein diets, fruits, vegetables, all these things can lead to rise in prices. Government policies obviously affect prices. For example, there is some export restrictions by government. So what it will do, it will increase prices. Suppose we are exporting, uh, there could be some export restrictions. So what happens in times of scarcity, the government reduces the export of essential items. Suppose there is palm oil export restriction in Indonesia. Obviously, it will be decreased in India, and that the remaining palm oil prices will grow. Okay, MSP sometimes also leads to rise in prices because it distorts the market dynamics. Various times what happens, suppose there are 100 quintals to become in market, and there are 120 quintal produce, and what happens, farmer sells 50 quintal to government only instead of selling to the market. So there will be only 70 quintal coming to the market, and what will happen, the demand will be higher, so it could leads to rising prices. So sometimes MSP, huge reliance on MSP can also distort the market, the regulations, or you can say distort the market prices. So these are some of the reasons through which food inflation can be seen. So I have written 4 5 points. Obviously, it was a 10 marker question, so writing too much will be not good. I think 5 points will be enough, and you can add points on your own. It is a very dynamic topic, and you are all UPSC aspirants. So writing on these answer, I think, will be not a tough job for you. Secondly, how can we mitigate the food inflation? Obviously, first of all, we will invest in tech, we will invest in research and development, we will invest in extension, we will focus on diversification of crops. And why all this? To improve our production, to enhance production. Obviously, production will be enhanced, agricultural productivity will be high, so there will be enough supply for to cater our demands, and the food inflation will be in control. Secondly, we need to do infrastructure development. We can develop efficient distribution channels, efficient distribution channels. So what all these things will do, it will all enhance our supply chains. Suppose infrastructure, the road quality is good, so obviously the food will reach at less time to the consumers, the problem of wastage will be reduced. So all these things have a role here. Next, we can do policy interventions by government. Policy interventions by government, such as targeted subsidies can be given by government, targeted subsidies, so that the input prices are kept in control. There should be transparent procurement system, transparent procurement system, procurement systems, so that it doesn't distort the market prices or other things. We should promote regulation, so that the prices are under control. Price regulations, monitoring and enforcement of price monitoring and enforcement of good prices, price monitoring, price regulation, all these things can be done. Export, we should improve our import export policies, improve import export policies. We should do trade agreements and other things, so that the supply chains are properly maintained. So these things needs to be done. Secondly, we should reduce input costs, such as by going through farming, such as zero budget natural farming. So here we all know that less amounts of inputs are required, so obviously it will reduce input costs. We should empower the farmers. by giving them proper training, proper extensions. So through this, obviously, they will get high income through high production, and also the demand supply mismatches will be not present. So all these things can help in the mitigation of the food inflation. So I hope you understand this. So this was a very easy type of question. I just discussed some of the key points on which you can make your answer. It was a kind of structural ideas to you how what points you can write. So that is all for today. You can add a conclusion here, any positive conclusion. You all know that in a country like India with 140 crore population, what challenges food inflation can bring, where a lot of persons are still under poverty and other things. So these things can be written in food conclusion, whereas government scheme should be written here. So what government scheme is, the government is trying to do, such as National Food Security Act can be added in conclusion, through which government try to provide this basic amenity, that is food, and avoid these inflation and their problems. So this is how you can approach this answer. So that is all for today. If you like it, please press the like button, please do share, and please do subscribe. It takes a lot of hard work to make such videos for you on regular basis, and if you like, if you share, if you subscribe, it motivates us to make more such videos for you regularly. So that is all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.